in order to animate, we need a character to animate. So we're going to open Adobe Illustrator. And I know we haven't used Adobe Illustrator before, but we're going to go ahead and open Illustrator. And when we do Illustrator, we're going to do File and New. And we're going to, it's right now, mine's in points. So I want to make sure it's in inches. 8.5 by 11 inches. Okay. And yeah, PPI 300, that's what I want. We're going to hit create. I don't want that. All right, so we have our white space here, and we're just going to use a couple of simple tools to create our character. We're not going to get real detailed into Illustrator. If you want to get real detailed in Illustrator, you can go and take the Adobe Academy class, but we are just going to do the bare basics for Illustrator, okay? So we want to make sure we have our colors and our swatches. Where are our swatches? There they are. And our swatches. And we'll get a couple other things here going on. All right. Before we get started, we have our fill color and our stroke color. We don't want a stroke. Stroke is like an outline in Illustrator. In Photoshop, we had foreground and background. Illustrator, we have fill and stroke. We don't want a stroke or an outline around everything we're doing. So we're going to come down here and we're going to click stroke. We're going to come down to this little red line that says none when I highlight over it. Now we're going to click that. So it's not going to put an outline on anything. And we're only going to use really the shape tool, which has rectangle, rounded rectangle, ellipse, polygon, star, flare. And we're really only going to use the rounded rectangle and the ellipse tool are really the only two tools that we're going to use. So we're going to go to rounded rectangle first. Come over here to our swatches and pick a skin tone. And we're going to come out here, we're going to draw a little rounded rectangle head. Now, with rounded rectangle tool, I could change the amount of corner that I have. Right now I've got it click, I've drug and clicked, and I'm still holding down click. I have not released yet. Using the left and right arrow keys, I can change how much angle is on there. And I want it to be pretty rounded, and I'm going to draw out a head shape. And I'm going to click OK. And that's a little dark. Don't really have a good skin tone in here. Let's play with this a little bit. I know I'm being fussy. That's better. So I just double clicked it to get that color panel to come up. So there's my head. And I'm going to come back in on here and I'm going to draw a nose. And I want my nose to be a little bit darker color. So again, I'm going to double click that color. And I'm going to make it more of a kind of a pinkish orange. And then I'm going to get my direct selection tool here. So I can kind of drag that nose around to where I want it. I want it kind of a little higher on his head. So I've got a head shape and a nose to start with. Now what I want to do is I want to make him kind of some cool sunglasses. All right, so I'm going to come over here to the ellipse tool. And I want the sunglasses to be black. I could also come over here and click black. And I'm going to draw out a circle. And yeah, I know that's pretty big. All right, so that's okay. We will adjust later on. And to get a perfect circle, let me delete that and show you, because if I just draw here, I'm going to get all kinds of weird ellipses. To get a perfect circle, I hold down the shift, and that's going to give me a perfect circle. Now I really only want half of this circle, so I'm going to go back up and get my rectangle tool. and I'm going to draw a rectangle over the top half of my circle. So I've got a rectangle on top that's over half of my circle. Now it should kind of auto click to the center of the circle when you draw it. Okay, I'm going to get my direct selection tool. I'm going to drag a box around both of them, so it's going to highlight both those shapes. And I'm going to go to Window, Pathfinder, P for Pathfinder. Bring up Pathfinder, and I'm going to bring it over, just drag it over here because I'm going to use Pathfinder a lot. So we're going to keep that open. And I'm going to come down here and I'm going to do, not minus back, minus front. Okay, so whatever is in front is going to get deleted. So wherever that front shape on there covered the back shape behind it, it deleted it. All right, the one thing to remember about Illustrator is that Illustrator is a shape program. It is not a drawing program. It is not a painting program. It is a shape program. So think of it as you have lots of different pieces of construction paper and you can cut them and slice them into different shapes. So that's what we did. We made a half of a circle. So I've got half my circle here and I want to copy that. So I'm going to, just like a normal, copy. So Command C or File Copy. And then I don't want to just paste. I want to do paste in front. So Edit, Paste in front, or Command F. And what that's going to do is it's going to put it right on top of the one I already have. So now if I come down with my direct selection tool and click that and drag over, you can see I've got two now, right? All right, now we want to make them look like glasses. So let's put some like highlights on the glasses. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to get my rectangle tool and I'm going to draw out a couple different rectangles, one big long rectangle, and then again I'm going to do paste. Whoops, I got to copy it first, don't I? So delete that. Copy and paste in front, slide that over a little bit. And then I want to make that one a little bit skinnier. So I'm going to get my open arrow key and I'm coming down here and click on this little button on the side and I'm going to slide it over and make it thinner. Okay, so halfway down there's this little anchor tool and I drag down, made both those smaller. Get my direct selection tool, drag over both these to highlight them, give them a nice light blue, come out here, I want both of them. And I'm going to come over here for my rotate tool, or I can just click R for rotate. And I'm going to kind of rotate them a little bit. Direct selection tool, or A for direct selection tool. Oh, come on. I want to make them smaller. There we go. So I want to make them thinner, kind of like that. I'm going to put it over one, copy, paste in front, put it over the other, and then I'm going to drag around and get all of this stuff in here. Get all of that stuff, and I'm going to this time do divide. And that's going to split it up anywhere where a line crosses another line. Okay, so now I can highlight these top ones, click delete, highlight these bottom ones, click delete, and now the lines are just on my glasses. Alright, one more thing. Gotta come down here, pull out kind of a, sunglasses for a side. Oh, that needs to be black. Where our swatches make that black. And right now it's in front. We want to move it to back. So we're going to right click, go down here to arrange, and put send to back. And that will put cancel. That will put that all the way at the back. Okay, so there's our sunglasses. Again, I come in here, make them smaller. Hold down Shift to keep the constraints the same. Maybe a little bit smaller. Okay, so we got this. What happened was the black line went all the way to back. So I can either click that one and do arrange, bring forward, or I could click this shape and set it to back. All right. So now we've got his cool sunglasses, we've got his nose, we've got his head shape. We need a mouth. And we're going to do kind of a Homer Simpson type mouth. So we're going to come over here, ellipse tool. Get that skin tone. Rectangle over the top of it. Minus front. Helps if I have both of them highlighted. Be sure to drag my box around both of them. Minus front. I don't want to do that. I want to do the open arrow tool. Kind of play with the shape here a little bit. Okay, so kind of a Homer Simpson style mouth. He probably needs an ear. Let's go ahead and make an ear. Hold down Shift to get a circle. I'm going to use, since I changed colors, I'm going to get eyedropper to get that exact color. I just clicked on the color that I wanted and make that shape that color. And then I want to make the middle of the cancel. Make the middle of the ear a different color. So I'm going to draw another smaller circle. Or we'll just copy that one and then make it smaller. Make that the same color. Use eyedropper, make it the same color as the nose. Direct selection tool, I just need to remember A, don't I? To drag it over here to the middle. Take both of those. Drag them over for an ear. Now, unlike Homer, this guy's going to have some hair. So let's go in and round the rectangle again. Trying to remember all my shortcuts. It's not working very well. Okay, we're going to make the hair, let's make it brown. And I'm going to come in with a rectangle and I'm going to make a small rectangle here. And drag it down so it lines up at the points. And then I'll make another little rectangle. You can see how when it shows intersect, shows me kind of right where I want to start it. Alright. Kind of highlight over all of that. Slide it up top of his head. Selection tool V. Drag it over. Alright, just give me the top of it. And that shape, there we go. Okay. So there he's got some hair. So hair, mouth, sunglasses, ears, nose. And last but not least, he needs a neck. So again, eyedropper to get the skin tone. Rounded rectangle. Come down here, line up with the back of his head. And then right click arrange, send to back. No, delete that. Alright. Now I'm going to get my direct selection tool A, highlight over the whole thing, edit, arrange, go to object, object group. Okay, object group. Come over here to our layers palette. Looks like two sheets of paper on top of each other, layers palette. Double click this layer and name it head. Alright, so we've got the head of our character here. Feel free to, those of you that have used Illustrator before, feel free to make your own little adjustments, make your own little character, whatever. For those, this is just kind of for those of us that have not touched Illustrator before, kind of a little walkthrough. Alright, have fun. We'll be right back.